Welcome to my LGBT lesbian channel. The series Checkmate, Stripper and Dance for Me are voiced for you in full history. Thank you for your comments, reactions and subscription to my channel. Have a nice day everyone. Is something wrong? I asked worriedly, trying to decipher her eyes. No, I just want to ask you something before. I frowned and swallowed hard. Go ahead, I murmured when I fixed my gaze on hers. Can we do it differently this time? I felt confused before her request. Perhaps I was too aroused and nervous to reason any request at that moment. What do you mean? Lauren. Play song Ride by Somo. Camila smiled shyly, giving me the chance to see her blush. And it was when suddenly, as if I had been slapped, that I realized what she was referring to. I closed my eyes for brief seconds and nodded at the brunette before getting up from the couch. I received a curious look, almost nervous, from the now slightly inebriated woman. I wouldn't do that just for her, but for me too, because in a way today, more precisely that night, I wanted it to be that way. I extended my hand to her, receiving hers soon after. The two of us walked together towards the bed, stopping right next to it. Camila wasn't saying absolutely anything. It was as if that tempting and imposing woman didn't exist, as if her seduction barriers had been visibly devastated by the tsunami of new sensations provided that night. I walked away from her for a few instants, just to lower the intensity of the light in the room, which was now only being partially illuminated by the table lamp on the nightstand. I approached her again. She had her back to me now. I could see her heavy and spaced breathing by the way her shoulders rose and fell gradually. I stopped a few centimeters from her body, and with my hands I pulled her hair to one side, leaving her neck fully exposed to me. The Latina shivered as soon as my lips came into contact with the delicate skin of that area, where I made absolute question of kissing gently. As my hands lifted the hem of her black dress slowly, Camila raised her arms so that the piece could come out completely, giving me the view of her body covered only by a bluish delicate lingerie. The silence took over the environment completely, making us only hear the sound of our heavy breathing. My lips brushed the brunette's nape, while my hands patiently slid around her waist, going towards her flat stomach, to then remove her bra. The woman arched her head back as soon as she felt my tongue in contact with her hot skin, followed by a gentle bite. Lauren. I felt inebriated with her body, her skin and her so sweet scent. I squeezed Camila's body against me, receiving her hands in my hair as my lips roamed around her neck. I turned the woman to face me in one quick motion that made her gasp in surprise. We connected in such an intense way once our eyes looked into each other. I pulled her to me and took her lips in a kiss full of desire and want for her. Camila didn't take long to remove my blouse, followed by my pants, leaving me now in the same state as she was. I laid her down on the soft bed, seeing her so beautiful body spread on the white sheets. Come, she asked in such a dragged voice tone that made me shiver. I united my body to hers, feeling the touch of our hot skins, which were burning with the desire that spread among us. Unlike the other times, Camila seemed to suck more of me, as if she could absorb my vital energies. My tongue danced in perfect movements with hers, as if our kiss had the best fit existent in the world. Her hands roamed my back, up and down, while her nails scratched my skin at every movement that my body did over hers. I was lost in a whirlwind of sensations that guided me only down one path, where the end reserves me one single person. I sat on her hips gently while I moved her hands above her head, pinning them to the soft mattress. She expanded her lips into a smile, keeping our eyes connected. I smiled at Camila and joined my hands to hers, intertwining our fingers. You are beautiful, I let out without fear of what she might think. You are beautiful too, Lauren. I leaned my head forward, feeling her soft lips being pressed against mine. Her avid tongue searched for mine with a colossal desire. I felt her teeth bite my bottom lip, making me squeeze our hands together. I left her mouth and slid my tongue across the line of her jaw towards her earlobe, where I sucked skillfully. Camila reacted instantly, letting out a muffled moan. I released her hands and descended with my kisses down her neck, passing by her collarbone where I kissed affectionately. My mouth trailed her skin carefully, now passing by the valley of her perky breasts. Despite all the cold that was felt outside, the room seemed to have a much higher temperature. My eyes opened to stare at the brunette's brown and flaming eyes, which stared right back at me in a lost way. I slid the tip of my tongue over my lips and inched my mouth closer to the brunette's hard nipple. Camila bit her lower lip when she felt the first suck on her right breast. I moved my tongue with the exact pressure on her so sensitive skin. She tilted her hips up, forcing them against my sex, which time or another rubbed on hers. She moaned when she closed her eyes. Look at me, don't take your eyes off me, I ordered, and she obeyed instantly. I left her breast and descended with a trail of kisses down her flat stomach. I felt like kissing her wholly, like feeling her soft skin with my lips till I dropped. Camila left me in a state of constant frenzy, as if she was all that made me live in that moment. I kissed her stomach 1, 2, 3 times, coming very close to her sex, everything under her penetrating and hot gaze. I removed her thin and expensive lace panties, showing her body completely. Before returning to accommodate my body over hers, I removed the pieces that I still had left. Now I had one of my thighs in between the woman's legs, making our sexes have a stronger contact with each other's skin. I kissed her mouth and bit her bottom lip as I moved my body over hers, forcing her pussy to rub on me. Oh God, Lauren, she whispered amid a moan, bringing her hands to my back. You drive me completely crazy for you, I whispered against her lips, moving my hips. I felt Camila's wet pussy rubbing on my leg faster and faster. We were sweating, our bodies were in an intense friction, our breaths mingled with every exchanged kiss. I rested my forehead against hers and supported my arms on the mattress, now moving my body faster, rubbing harder. She tried to control her moans, which tore her throat uncontrollably. My body at every passing second asked for more, asked for her and for its climax. I pulled my forehead from hers, staring at her eyes lost in pleasure, while moving my body nonstop. Camila on pure impulse brought her hand up to my nape, gripping and tugging on my hair, forcing me to watch her feeling pleasure. She moaned with want, only multiplying the sensation that exploded in me. My whole body was there for her, with all the strength that she could yearn from someone. She scratched my nape lightly and then pulled me into a desperate kiss. Our lips moved with greed, hungry for each other. I lifted my body and skillfully held one of Camila's legs, lifting it to give me the perfect fit. I grabbed her arched thigh and moved my hips faster, now having her pussy rubbing with mine without any hindrance. I saw the brunette's nails digging into the bed sheets as soon as I started to move over her. My eyes were lost in her now partially illuminated body by the table lamp. I could see the beads of sweat running down her neck. She moaned more and more constantly, but not too loud. Carla's moans could be one of the best things that I've ever heard. Her hand left the bed sheet and rested on my waist, forcing me against her. I closed my eyes and arched my head back, feeling increasingly closer to the apex. My body seemed to give emphasis to all my nerve endings, which exploded with the sensations provided by that Latina. Fuck, I'm gonna come. Lauren, I'm gonna come. My hand went to hers and I intertwined our fingers affectionately. Camila looked at me deeply as her chest rose and fell in a heavy breathing. I felt on the edge of what I most wanted. She kept her eyes fixed on mine when she was invaded by the apex of pleasure. Camila's fingers squeezed mine hard as her body moved quickly with mine. She was coming with me and for me. My body convulsed with hers, moving shamelessly. I heard her moaning and cussing as a way to express what she was feeling. The rubbing of our sexes continued until the last second of that devastating orgasm. She only closed her eyes now, while her half-open mouth let her panting escape. I felt her pussy throbbing against my skin, letting me notice how intense that had been. Carefully, I accommodated myself on her sweaty body, resting my head on her chest. I could hear her heart beating wildly there, as her chest rose and fell trying to normalize itself. This was certainly the best to date. She laughed breathlessly, making me smile, and I want more of you. I lifted my body to look into her brown eyes. Camila had a relaxed expression, satisfied. Her face was flushed, making her even more alive and vibrant. I was still smiling at her as one of my hands slid down her cheek. You'll have much more. I shifted on the bed, feeling gentle kisses on my back. A slight shiver ran down my spine when I felt Camila's lips close to my ear, making me feel her breath against my skin. We can't sleep all day. Her husky voice made me smile. Yes, we can, I grumbled, forcing my eyes to remain closed. She laughed and kissed my neck. With every movement that Camila did, her hair slid on my back, making me shiver all over. She seemed to have fun with that, because she didn't try to stop when she saw all the hairs on my body stand on end. I want to go out and enjoy the day. It's beautiful outside, and today is our last day here. I sighed heavily, remembering that we'd have to go back. All good things come to an end. I opened one of my eyes with some difficulty, which made Camila let out a contagious laugh. She didn't seem tired. On the contrary, she was more awake and lively than in the day before. And let me tell you this, our night was at least too busy. I'm going to take a shower. I expect to come out of the bathroom and see you very well awake, Jauregui. She said and kissed my back for the last time before getting up from the bed. Gaze, because she stopped at the doorway and looked at me with a mischievous expression. I opened my eyes to look at the brunette walking towards the bathroom. I could never miss the scene of seeing Carla completely naked walking with her long and wavy hair across the hotel room. The brunette knew that she attracted my gaze, because she stopped at the doorway and looked at me with a mischievous expression. You can join me if you want. Those were her words before entering the bathroom. I quickly sat up on the bed, as if Camila's words had awakened me in an effective way. I rubbed my eyes with the back of my hands and got up from the bed wrapped in the white bed sheet. Our clothes were scattered across the room's floor, revealing what had happened here last night. I approached the overcoat that was on the living room couch, grabbing my phone. I looked at the notifications. When one of them caught my eyes, it was an email. Carlton Tomaz, UBS. I swallowed hard at the sight of that notification. The information that brought me to Switzerland was there, just one click away. I sat on the couch and took a deep breath before pressing on the email icon. My head seemed to be remembering all the events since the beginning of the Collins Enterprises theft investigation. With my thumb, I pressed on the email unsteadily, quickly going through Carlton's unnecessary text, to then download the document. The download bar filled completely on the phone screen, opening the file automatically. I knew those forms and went straight to the page that interested me. My heart was racing in wild beats of anxiety, when finally my eyes landed on the full name on the form. Lauren, are you coming to the shower with me? My eyes left the cell phone to look at the woman's face in front of me. If you like that I voiced the continuation of the series Stripper and want me to continue, please like and write a comment on the video. This will be an incentive to continue working on translation and dubbing.